In this video, we're going to explore strategies for your mastermind. And mastermind groups typically would meet in rooms like this. They'd get together physically in one place. But today, there's a great opportunity to really expand this. And there's nothing wrong. It's actually great that a group can get together, meet each other face to face. But today, the opportunity to continue the meetings virtually is really ideal. One, it's more convenient for everybody. Everybody can vote because a mastermind's a democracy. You could say, okay, hey, what's a good time we could all meet? Thursdays after dinner, Saturday mornings. Find a time that is ideal for everybody. Get together in a room, get to meet each other, but do the sequences after that virtually, and then have times where you get together in the same place, if possible. Now today, with this possibility we're going to explore here of having virtual masterminds, I mean, literally there's people from all over the world getting together, so sometimes getting together physically is not always a convenient option. And also, you could use masterminds to expand and add a dimension to your courses and conference. But one thing that's clear today is that the world of the great speaker, the center expert, and everybody in a room taking notes is kind of old news. Today the world has changed and everybody wants to be part of something, to be part of a dynamic, to be interactive. So the passive student with the notepad and paper, there's times for that. There's times obviously from learning from an expert. But if you could add this dynamic of interactivity, and a mastermind is exactly that. Everybody has a voice. It's a democracy. It's not based on just one leader. So one tool that is just really adds a whole nother perspective to the world of virtual masterminds is really not just Hangouts, but it's the platform of Google+. And Hangouts being a tool that lets you visually get together in a virtual room. And we'll get into more of the details here, but this whole Google+ platform is really ideal for virtual masterminds. And what I recommend is that when you have a mastermind is to use, again, Google Calendar, and you set the mastermind name. If it's a repeat, you say we're going to meet weekly, every 2 weeks, every month. You could do it all here, where in Hangouts, and right here it says add video call. So when you add the call there, and then over here, you start entering all the names. You could cut and paste the 10 names or 7 names or 5 names of the people who are in your mastermind and add them. They all get an email accepting, for them to be invited to this mastermind. Here you can put the purpose of the mastermind, choose what calendar you want to put it in, and also what kind of notifications. They get notifications in email, pop-ups. And this is an ideal way to hold the mastermind. Now what happens is when everybody accepts this, they have it in their calendar. When they open up that calendar, when they get the pop-up, they could come into this event, and right here will say join video call. When they click on that, everybody gets into the same meeting. So you don't even have to send out emails with the link of where to click on. Everybody can learn how to do this, and this is an ideal way to manage your masterminds. The other thing is ideal is that you put everybody in a private community. Because when you put everybody in a private community in Google+, and this video is not intended to teach you how to use Hangouts and Google+ and all that, but just get into it and you'll see it's not that difficult. But if you have a private community, your team can post there. They could share videos that they found that were congruent with the last topic. They could post notes. Everybody gets notifications that somebody just posted. So this is really an ideal way to communicate in between the masterminds. And here I'm just going to share an idea, just to give you a perspective of how masterminds can really complement this objective of having an interactive vehicle for communicating and adding dimension to your courses. And the first component, I call it group coaching. This was what used to be called webinars, but I call it group coaching here because when we do this, we typically can have 10 people in a Hangouts, but thousands of people watching through YouTube. But those 10 people that are in the Hangouts, you could be coaching them on a topic. Maybe you give a presentation for 15 minutes and then interview them for 45 minutes. There's different formats you could do, but it adds a dimension to the term webinar, where you make a presentation for 45 minutes and then ask questions and answers. They come in different ways. Here, there's really an interactivity as the base. And then you could have your membership site. And again, this group coaching, the interesting thing here is even if this is a paid course, this could be broadcasted live over YouTube, because you not necessarily have to teach the heart of your course here. You could do some group coaching. You could start for 15 minutes teaching a new strategy or talking about a new strategy, but then they go into the membership site where that strategy could be detailed in short videos and all that, and that's where everybody does the learning, and this is private. And then you could put your team in masterminds. Now, you as the product owner don't necessarily have to participate in every mastermind. You could put them into teams. In the next video, I'm going to show you an application that works with Hangouts that they could easily use to facilitate their own groups. But this is a way that now they're starting to form associations with other people. They're working together as a team, and this again adds a dimension. And one other component is that you could have a classroom or an open office where the people in your group, in your course, can actually come in. And this is a set schedule you could have once a week, whatever, and they can come in and ask questions and answers and be more interactive. Again, you could choose whether that session is private or where you want to broadcast it over the internet. The point is the mastermind's private, the membership site's private, and again, you could decide. The benefit of having your group coaching be public is that it's a nice viral way for people to learn what you're doing. And again, this is just something for ideas. I'm really just giving you some ideas here that you could personalize for your own needs if you're a coach or a conferencist or somebody who could really benefit from these kind of things. Let's close with some other ideas for how to really benefit with masterminds. And one is immediately you could hold or get together your colleagues in your market or industry and start meeting at a regular basis and holding these masterminds, running the groups correctly. Masterminds are very powerful for brainstorming with your colleagues. Anytime that you're stuck launching something new, really to get just this brainstorming, this shower of ideas from various people with different backgrounds is very, very powerful. The other thing is the word co-opetition. And this is something very, very unique, is invite your competition to be in a mastermind. Now, this is not about, price fixing and all those things. This is about getting together, and again, the purpose of a mastermind is to have a purpose that's bigger than each individual. So if you get together with your so-called competition and the purpose is to grow the industry, to create more awareness for the situations that govern your industry, all of a sudden the tide rises for everyone. Everybody wins. So it's a win-win scenario. So it's something you could explore. The other thing we talked about earlier is adding intensity and interactivity to your courses. Anything you teach, if you're teaching a classroom even, add a mastermind that gives it that dimension where people can get together outside of your presence even and cooperate and help each other out. It's an easy info product. You don't really have to have 30 hours worth of videos and PDFs to download to launch an info product. You could easily you could take a best-selling book and say the purpose of this mastermind is we're going to go through this book together and get the best out of it, and say, okay, in the first mastermind, let's read chapters 1 through 3, and then let's get into the mastermind and compare ideas, and let's see what everybody's getting out of this. And it's just a nice interactive way to add a dimension to something that typically you do by yourself. So you as a coordinator, this is just another idea, but you can actually charge for something like that. Now, it could be your course, that's even better, but you're charging for holding and coordinating the mastermind. Obviously, you're not presenting yourself as the author of the book or anything like that, but everybody can click, buy the book from Amazon, and you're holding and coordinating the mastermind. But the point is, there's very simple things you could do without having a complete course ready. You could be the mastermind facilitator, and there's a service in doing that. Also, with all this, you're positioning yourself as the leader in your market. When you're organizing your competitors to get together in a mastermind group, or if you have a market and you're starting to get together the different experts, let's say you have a mastermind on tourism for your city, and all of a sudden you get the hotel owners and the restaurant owners and the travel agencies, and you get them all involved with the purpose of growing tourism in your city. You position yourself in the center of all that. You don't have to be the grand leader or expert. You're just coordinating it all. And it's an easy way to position yourself as a leader. And most of all, just take action. Take some of these ideas and run with it. and you'll see that this is something that's going to really add a big benefit in your professional and personal life. In the next video, I'm going to share with you a tool, a software app that runs within Hangouts, and this is something you're going to get either as part of a course or for free, that will help you manage everything we talked about in these first two videos inside of a free app like Google Hangouts, so I'm sure you'll really enjoy it. Okay, take action. We'll see you in the next one. But today, the opportunity to continue the meetings virtually is really ideal. One, it's more convenient for everybody. Everybody can vote because a mastermind's a democracy. You could say, okay, hey, what's a good time we could all meet? You know, Thursdays after dinner, Saturday mornings. You know, find a time that is kind of old news. Today, the world has changed, and everybody wants to be part of something, to be part of a dynamic, to be interactive. So the passive student with the notepad and paper, there's times for that. There's times, obviously, from learning from an expert. But if you could add this dynamic. In this video, we're going to explore strategies for your mastermind. And mastermind groups typically would meet in rooms like this. They'd get together physically in one place. But today, there's a great opportunity to really expand this. And there's nothing wrong. It's actually great that a group could get together, meet each other face-to-face. Is not always a convenient option. And also, you could use masterminds to expand and add a dimension to your courses and conference. But one thing that's clear today is that the world of the great speaker, the center expert, and everybody in a room taking notes, ideal for everybody, get together in a room, get to meet each other, but do the sequences after that virtually, and then have times where you get together in the same place, if possible. Now today, with this possibility we're going to explore here of having virtual masterminds, I mean, literally, there's people from all over the world getting together. So sometimes getting together physically